In this problem, we're going to practice composition. So we have two functions, f of x equals x squared plus 2x plus 1, and g of x equals x minus 3. And we're going to do composition on these functions. So f composed with g of x, and that means the function g is going to be plugged into the function f. So we can write that as g of x being plugged into f. So we're going to take this function right here and we're going to plug it in to f right here and here. So we'll circle that in pink. That function gets put in right there, and then it's going to get squared. It gets put in right there, and then it gets multiplied by 2. So what we have is f composed with g. By the way, that should be a small circle. It doesn't really look right. Let me see if I can get that smaller. There. And it looks like this. So just to be clear, here's the pink parentheses, and I'm going to put in x minus 3 and then square it. I'll do that on the next step. And then I'm going to plug in x minus 3, multiply that by 2 on the next step. So now I just need to simplify the problem and make it look a little bit more attractive. So now what we have is f composed with g of x is equal to x minus 3 times x minus 3 plus, now on this one I'm going to go ahead and do the distribution of 2 right here. So 2 gets multiplied by the x and by the negative 3. On the left hand side I still have f composed with g of x. On the right hand side I'm going to multiply these out. X squared, outer and inner together would make negative 6 plus 9 plus 2x, and then we'll go ahead and add the negative 6 and the 1. Now we'll combine like terms. There's not another x squared, so that's done. Then I'm going to combine the negative 6x and the positive 2, giving me a negative 4x. And I'm going to combine the 9 and the negative 5, giving me a positive 4. So the answer requires function notation on the left hand side because we're building a new function, and then we see that's the composition of f composed with g of x. Now that is usually not the same thing you'll get if you compose g with f. So let's do the composition going the other way and see that we'll actually build a different function. So here I've rewritten the functions, and we're going to do the composition g composed with f. And just to remind you what that means that we'll first do the function f, and it gets plugged into the function g. So this time we're going to take this function and plug it in to g, and there's only x in one spot in the g function, so this way is actually easier than the last one. I'm going to have, to be clear, I'll put it in pink, the function f, which is x squared plus 2x plus 1, and that got put in right here. I still need to subtract 3 and then simplify that. So in this case I can just drop the parentheses and add like terms. So x squared plus 2x minus 2. And there's function notation on the left because we were building a new function. So the answer then is in the box. G composed with f of x is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 2.